I'm writing my own class. If my class, whatever the word count mapper, whatever the my mapper, whatever you write, suppose your class has to be eligible to work as a mapper, what we need to do? We need to inherit. We need to inherit my parents' behavior. My parent behavior. The parent, who is the parent? Mapper class is the parent. Second. Mapper class is the parent. Mapper class is the parent. From where I need to take? I need to take from arg.apache.hadoop Mapreduce. So only one place it is there. So we need to get it from the this Mapreduce. Now, when you are designing your code, as I said, what type of input data you are going to give your mapper, based on that your key in. So I'm going to process a text file. What will be my K1? What is the type of my K1? Guys, everyone, please, everyone has to respond on this, because we have spent almost 10 days to understand that what is input format, what is the record reader, these things. To understand all these things, we have spent almost 10 days. So if I'm going to decide what is my K1 V1, what is my K2 V2. Now I'm going to write a program. So I'm going to process a text file. So we should know what is my K1. See now. So I am going to use text input format. Text input format. If I am using a text input format, what is my key?
Offset.
Offset. Very good. So offset means, what is the type of it?
Is integer.
Integer. So when it comes to Hadoop, we don't have an integer, it is a writable. So I will go with a long writable. Why should I go with a long writable? Because the offset, let's say if I take a 100 MB file, there may be very big. Let's say it's simple. If we take a simple example, this is my, let's say I'm taking a very simple example, or let's take this as an example. If you see, this is one line. If you start counting one, this is not in this one line. If you start counting the characters, there will be so many. It may go beyond your integer range. Offset may go beyond the integer range. That's why we need to go with the long writable, because I need a longer value for my key in. Then what is my text? What is my value? Text. What, guys? It seems someone is facing no. Okay. So now what is my K2? Text, because I'm string and long writable. So I'm going to give word comma 1. So I'm going to emit word comma 1. So okay. Now why it is error? Because these data types is not known by your Eclipse. To make it known, what we need to do? We need to import them. Yep. And text also, it is not known by your Eclipse. We need to say. So text should be org Apache Hadoop IO. All your data types from the Hadoop IO. See, text class is there so many places. Sun and XML. There are so many places. There are so many places. There is a class called text, but we should take from only Hadoop IO. And int writable. also from IO. Done. Now I have created my class. So when I created my class, so what is the method I need to override? Map method. You just type map, use control space, press enter, press enter. Just type map and control space, press enter. You don't need to know, you don't need this, you can remove it. So no problem at all. You can remove it. You can remove it. It's no map, no problem at all. So I have written my map method. So you don't need to call the superclass method because we are going to write your own map. You are going to write your own map. So now I know my key is a offset, my value is a line. Yes or no, guys?
Yeah.
From the text file. So my key is offset and value text is a line. So let's say my value, how the value looks Hadoop is open source. I'm just taking the open source Java based framework. This is one line. So now your value looks like this. Your value looks like this. So this map method, it will contains a single line. Let's say, let me take a sample input here. Let me take a sample input. So I'll just copy some sample input from, I have some sample input, but still let me take from somewhere. I have so much of, yeah. I'm taking sample input to make you very much clear. So what I'm doing, I'm taking a bigger file. I want to take a bigger file. This is something called a bigger file. So this file opening itself, it will take some time, guys. That's the problem. The opening itself, it will take some time in the Eclipse. Okay. So the very first Java programming at wiki. This is the first line. So your record reader, what it will do? First it will read the line by line. First it will read the line by line and it will give first line. Yes, it's come here. The first line will come here. Okay. When the first line comes, what we need to do? I need the words from this line. So if I want the words from this line, what I need to do? It seems that someone is facing a problem. I just want to assist them.
I think Srini is facing the problem, Ravi.
It's internet or
I think he's not able to hear the audio.
Venkat are able to hear? Okay. Okay. Now I got the line. So my line is nothing but my complete line. So now I need the words from this line. So if I want the words from this line, what I need to do? From a string, a bigger string, I want the words. What I need to do? Guys, I have a line like this. I have not record reader. Record reader is done. Now record reader is given me this complete line. Let's assume that this complete line is given by record reader. Now I want the Java as a one word, is as a one word, A as one word, general as one word, general purpose as one word. So how will I get the words?
Split by space.
Very good. We need to split it.
Delimiter.
Yeah, we need to split it. So to split it, it is a text type. What is your value type? Text type. Do
Yes.
we have any method for the splitting a string into? text data into words, we don't have any method, so we cannot do that directly. So what we need to do, we need to convert into string line equals how to convert into string, guys? How to convert us how to convert into
Valid
string
to
an
string.
object? Sorry, value dot.
Valid to string.
Very good, very good, Sulpit. Very good. Value dot to string.
To string.
So now my object, actually text is nothing but an object, right? The value is nothing but an object. That value I'm converting into string. Now I have converted into string. So now I need to break it into pieces. Either I can go with the split method or I can go with the string tokenizer. Correct? So string tokenizer. I'm just going with the string tokenizer. Tokens equal to new string tokenizer. What is my line comma space? Line comma space. Correct? I have tokenized. Now the line will be break into pieces. Now I need to go through each piece. No, I need to traverse through each piece and I need to convert that piece into word. So while tokens dot has more elements, if more elements are there, I need to take a first element. I need to take a very first element. How will I take the first element? Generally, tokens dot next element, so my tokens dot next element, what it will do, it will return object, type. So but I don't want the object, I want the string type. So this object I need to convert again into string to string. So now I got the token, I need to put into somewhere, right? I need to assign somewhere, right? So where I have to assign? So instead of normally what we can do, I can take one string word, initially taking some null or empty. So I can say word equal to this. My word came here. My word is ready. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So now I need to emit word comma 1 as per the yesterday's example, word comma 1. So now I need to emit the word comma 1. How can I emit? Context. I'll tell you, the context is the object which contains your configurations, it contains the record reader, it contains the output committer, everything will be available in the context object. So write context.write method, where it should be text type. The first one is text type. Here I have defined already in the text and int writable. So now I have a string is the word. So how will I get the text? String, I have a word. How will I get the text? I need to convert into text. There are multiple ways to convert into text. So what you can do, you can create a new text object by pass the word. Create a new text object by passing the word. That can be done. And 1 I need to give. If I give 1, it will throw an error because it will not understand the number. So what I need to do, int writable I need to say. Int writable of 1. So this can also I can do that. But unnecessarily I'm creating so many objects. Now this code works very perfectly. No problem at all. But here I'm creating one string for each word. I may have a millions of words in the file. How many objects will create? Million string objects will be created.
Yes.
And if you are doing the same kind of operations on that, strings are not recommended. So we should be very careful while using the strings. We should be very careful while we are creating strings, and while we are creating objects like this, we should be very much careful, because this will kill our RAM memory, I mean heap memory. Eat up the heap memory, your application will not run. So instead of what I will do, instead of that, what I will do, I will create text type object which say word equal to new text object. I create a text object, and I'll also create iterable. I'll also create iterable when one equal to new iterable of number one. What does it mean? It's nothing but a one now. It's nothing but a number. If you guys remember, when we are discussing about integer x equal to new integer of 1. This is nothing but a int I equal to 1. This is nothing but like this. This is nothing like this. The same way iterable. Here integer is a wrapper class. Here iterable is a serializable object in a Hadoop. Okay, so Hadoop understands only writables. That's why I have written in that manner. Okay, now instead of creating a word here, break this. Here, instead of doing this, I have something called word.set method. Word.set method. Your text class has set methods where you can set your strings, where you can set your let's look at here. It can, you can send the byte array, you can send the character array, you can send the you can set the strings. There is some set method is there available in the text class. In the text class you have something called set method. In the text class there is something called, in the text class you have something called set method where you can set the, look at here, it's already open. This is a set method. This is a byte array set method only. It is another text set method only. So set method, there are multiple set methods, but we need to choose which method we require. So I need a method which I need to send a string, because it gives me a string. So now here, instead of writing like this, what I will do, word comma one, done. My map method is done. So I didn't write my setup method, I didn't write my cleanup method. We'll talk about that later. Now I'm going to write my reducer method.
Can you explain one more time, Ravi? That one?
Which one? Complete
From
code?
text word equal to new text.
Yeah. So if I
Not
create a,
complete.
yeah, if I execute a strings, it will create a so many string objects in a heap memory, and we know that strings are immutable. Once they created, it cannot be modifiable. So it
Yes.
cannot be modifiable. So strings are not recommended to create. Instead of that, you create one text object. You set the in the text object you set the value. You set the value. Okay, here is one object only. We are creating only one object globally, and what we are doing, we are setting to that object. We are not creating multiple objects here. We are creating only one object, because your map method will call multiple times. Your map method will call multiple times, but your text, your objects are created only one time.
One time.
Yes or no? But if you
Yes.
take a string will be keep creating multiple objects, right? So your map method will call for each line. Map method will call for each line, each and every line. Suppose if you have 100 lines here, let me tell you, here I have 200 lines in this code. Let's say in this 57 lines are there. So my map method will call 57 times. If my map, that's a small file, that's very small file. If I take this file, my total lines are, let me tell you, total lines are 45 lakhs 57,361 lines are there. It means 45 lakhs times 45 lakhs times my map method will execute. Understand? Everyone, please. How many lines are there in input split? Those many times your map method will execute. Each line it will execute because your record reader is giving each line. And you have taken a string tokenizer to break into pieces, and I have broken into pieces. I'm going through each piece. I'm going through each piece. I'm going through each piece. Let's say, let me put it here. Let's say I'm going through here. Let me write here. I have something called Hadoop is open source. Open source, Java based open source. Let's say Hadoop is open source. And Java based framework. Okay, open source. Let's say this is my only one line. Now I have broken into pieces. I have broken into pieces. Now these are 4 pieces now. So initially my cursor will be pointing to this piece. Initially it will be pointing to first piece, this piece. So what I'm doing here, while I'm using the while, is there any pieces next? I'm checking has any more pieces? Yes, it is there. Then what do you do? Go inside and take this piece. Take this piece. Taking this piece and putting into the text data type, Hadoop known data type, which is a text data type, and text data type dot, in our case it's a word, okay, set of, and you are taking tokens dot has next, not next element, not has a next, it's next element dot toString, and you are setting the word to this, and finally ctx your context dot write method in this your word. Actually this is not text, actually in our case it is a word. Okay, word comma anyone. So now how it will emit in the buffer? Output of the mapper will be Hadoop comma 1. Next line is comma 1. Next line open comma 1.
One.
Source comma 1.
Let's go.
It will come like this, output of this line. So not only one line, right? We have so many lines. So it may come different output. Clear? Clear, guys?
Yeah. Yes.
Next, I'm going to write another class. I'm going to write another class which is a reducer class. So I'm naming it as a word count reducer. Word count reducer. I don't need a main method here because I'm not going to execute these are independently. I'm not going to execute these classes are independently. Okay. So now extends reducer. So you need to take a reduce method from where? Apache Hadoop Mapreduce. Apache Hadoop Mapreduce. I have taken this. And what is my key in here?
Text.
Very good. Text, because your map output is a input here. Int writable. What is the final output? Text and long writable.
Text.
So we need to take a proper one. So be careful while you are selecting your packages. Yep, done. Now I need to do my reduce method. So when you just type reduce method and take the reduce. As I said, here it is a key and it is a value, and you don't need this one, this much bigger thing. You can remove it. You can just take a context. You can say ctx and you can remove this. I don't need a, because I'm going to write my own thing. I don't want to call my supers reduce method. Now, if you guys look at here, it is iterable. Iterable means it's a collection of values. Iterable means it is a collection of values. So my main goal of my reducer is summing all the ones which is coming from output. So first I need sum equal to 0, sum equal to 0. Now I need to go through my values. I need to completely traverse through values, right? So what I can do, um, while value dot iterable value dot iterator dot has next dot has next has next. I need to iterate through all the values, because the how the map output come here, how the map output would come after short and shuffle. It will say that, let's say Hadoop came 4 times. Hadoop is the key and value is 4 times. Hadoop come 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1. It will come like this. Now I need to traverse through all this collection. No, this is a collection. I need to traverse through all this collection. No, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Now sum equal to sum plus value dot iterator dot next dot. It is a type of iterable. I need to convert into integer. Get. So now I got the sum. Okay, so the sum is an integer type, but I want it in a Hadoop known data type. So for that, what I'm doing here, long writable count equal to new long writable of count. So now what I will do, context ctx dot write your key, because that's a word. Hadoop you have to say, and count you have to say how many times the Hadoop is came. Done. This is my reducer code. This is my reducer code. This is your mapper code. That's a reducer code. So everyone clear about the reducer code? Is everyone clear about the reducer code? If anyone has a doubt,
Okay.
please ask me.
Can you go to mapper, word mapper, the other class?
Hmm.
Okay, we tried the line right here. Then why that while loop? Why can't we get to count it for the entire line once?
Here only want to do count.
Yeah.
Okay, so that can be done. See why here's anyway I have the framework which will go with the sort and shuffle phase. So where I can do the counting it here there itself. So if I want to count it, I want to make my mapper classes complex. Now it's pretty simple. My code is very simple. What it will do here, key which is a Hadoop, let's say Hadoop, and it will return 1, and let's say another key is 1. Very simple. My code I made my mapper is very simple. It's not complex logic as well. What I have to do, I'll just emit 1 is 1. Again Hadoop came one more time, no problem, just say 1. So this code will go through something called short and shuffle. There after this context dot, after the sort and shuffle, before your reducer, here before coming to your reducer, what it will do, it will go through the sort and shuffle and sort on the based on the key. Let's say Hadoop comes before than any other word, and it group the values, grouping the values. How many times Hadoop is there? Those many times it will group. So I have a simple logic where I can do reducer. I have a reducer where I can do the sum. when my framework is giving me a flexibility to make it your code as simple as simple, you can go with it. So if you want make it complex, you want to count everything here only, you have to create one global variable and you want to do a sum. Yes, you can go ahead and do that, not a problem. But you are
Why
making
I'm asking that question?
mm,
Yeah, why I'm asking that question is, I mean, the reducer will, I mean, map will be sending so many output messages for this, the huge number of files,
mm,
right?
mm, mm, mm.
So that's what my
Very good
question is
question.
actually.
Very good question, Suprit. And actually, anyway, I mean, I will raise this question and I will tell you. Anyway, if you didn't ask also, I will do that. But anyway, it's very good you have asked me. Tell me now, how many
Mm-hmm.
map code you have written? Single map code. So now, whatever
Correct.
the file I have given, let's assume that it has given 3 blocks. So it has given 3 blocks. So 3 blocks means how many mappers will launch? Ideally, 3 mappers.
Three members, yeah.
Map 1, map 2, map 3. Okay. So the output will be different on the different mappers.
Yep.
Let's say mapper 1 telling me Hadoop came 30 times because you have counted here only. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a very complex code. You need to maintain something. I'll tell you that. Anyway, you did it some way. You are counting in the mapper 1 only total count. And you say is came 100 times because is very frequent. Let's say Jack came 20 times. Now, there may be a chance map 2 also can have something called Hadoop.
Yes. Yep.
This may say another 20 times. There may be a chance where is can come 50 times. There may be some chance Jack can come another 20 times. 20 or 10, whatever the times. So here I may have a 1000 times. There may be a chance where I need to do Hadoop another 50 times. Is 100 times. Jack 100 times. Some other output. Yes or no? Is chance is there or not?
Yeah.
Now again I need to club them these three and submit.
Mm-hmm.
So now what you will do? You'll say Hadoop. Let's say I'm taking just Hadoop only. You'll group it such a way that 30 comma 20 comma 50. Again anyway this three has to be sum.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway it has to go to reducer phase. When anyway it is going to reducer phase, why you need to take a complexity to do all sums in mapper itself? You have to maintain two variables or global variables. Every time whenever you find a Hadoop, you need to increase the count. Whenever you find the Hadoop, you need to increase the count. Whenever you find the ease, you need to increase the count. How will you do that? Either you have to go with something called a map, or you have to go something called some other approach, some other data collection you have to go. Yes or no?
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
complex or not?
Yep.
So instead of that, this is pretty simple, no?
Okay. Got it.
Okay, I agree. You may say that, sir, Ravi, here so total 100 times. So now Hadoop, if I didn't do a sum at the level of map, Hadoop 1 comma 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 100 times it may come. Yes, I'm pretty much okay with that.
Okay.
Okay, instead of writing a very long complex logic, which will take a long time in the mapper itself, I have something called reducer
Mm-hmm.
where it can take care of it. That's why I'm emitting one there. Instead of doing a sum, I'm emitting there itself. Instead of saying total
Okay.
sum as 30, 40, 20, so I'm doing a summation in the at the reducer level. There's something called reducer's main purpose of reducer is aggregating all the outputs of mappers. All the outputs of mapper. It will not take one mapper, one reducer, one mapper, one reducer. No. It will take all the mappers, club them, and finally do the aggregation. That's how your reducer works. That's how your reducer works. I hope everyone is clear about the reducer. So your reducer will get, so as I shown the example here, the first key. So now it is a short and shuffle. Let's say Hadoop came. Let's say here A came 100 times. A, because it sorted on the keys. And R came 20 times. Hadoop is came the collection. Next is collection. E is also collected, right? 100, 50, and 100. Jack. So your reducer first will take A and it will find the sum. Reducer will take some second key, third key, fourth key, fifth key. Your reducer also your reduce method also will execute multiple times. Suppose if I have 100 outputs, 100 times your reducer method will execute. If I have 1000 times, my reducer will work on 1000 times. I hope everyone is clear about this.
Yeah.
I hope everyone is clear about this. Next class we need to write is a driver class. Driver
Part
class.
shuffle will happen in a mapper itself, or
No, after the mapper output. How it will happen in the mapper itself? Because after finishing the mapper only it collect the outputs. Before finishing the mapper, how it
okay.
will collect the output?
Got it.
Word count to driver. So this class I need a mapper, a main method, because from here I started driving. I mean I started going through from this class itself. Okay, so there is something we need to extend, guys. For time being, you just follow this. I'll explain why we need to implement, why we need to extend, why we need to implement, why we need to implement tools and all. I'll tell you. Configure. You should go with the Apache util tool, and configured is from there, and it is telling that you need to override some method. I will override the unimplemented methods. So run method is from the tool method. It is asking me to override. I'm overriding this. Not a problem. Okay. So now in my main method, what I need to do, tool runner dot run. I'm running the my code. From here the run method will start. I need to pass the configuration object. I need to pass the configuration object. I need to pass the configuration object. That should take from Hadoop conf. That should take from Hadoop conf. And tool is nothing but, because I have implemented the tool, my class will become a tool. Now my class object will become a tool. It is no new word count counter. Word count driver is a tool now, and it is expecting arguments. Arguments are nothing but whatever you give input path, output path, right? Those are the arguments. Yeah. So your main method may throw an exception. So your main method may throw an exception. Yes, it will take some time to explain. So already I have a driver code here. The same code I'll explain to you. Let's look at it will give some results, guys, that you can capture into that and for the future purpose. So we have a main method which throws an exception. We have the run method. So this run method, so forget about these things, guys. This is I have written myself to make you understand, because this run method will return some value that based on the result you can do some operations. Suppose the result is 0, the job is success. If the result is fail, you may want to do something else. If the job is fail, you don't want to simply quit the from the program, you may want to do something, or if the job is success, or you may want to do something. So how we will do that? So based on the result, we take the result from this. We'll take the result from this. Okay. Now go to your run method. Go to your run method. Go to your run method. This is very much important, which we need to understand. This is the very much important, which we need to understand. We have to create a job object. We have to create a job object to submit as a job by passing the configuration. This get configuration will be the configuration object, which contains all your Mapreduce or yarn related configurations. Okay. Set jar by class, because whatever the jars you are setting, it will call it will be knowing that which respective jar I need to execute. So that also I'll explain you very detailedly, not to worry about this line as well. For time being, you just understand we need to give this. And job, I'm setting the name for my job, my mapper class, my reducer class. I need to tell to my job what is my mapper class, what is my reduce class. So word count mapper, word count reducer, word count mapper, word count reducer. Okay. And what is my map output key? It is a text type. What is my map output value, which is again iterable. So whatever you have set it here, that needs to be set in your driver class as well, because your driver class should know it, what type of data he is handling. Okay. And after that, final output. What is the final output key? Final output value type. And you are taking your input path, my input path and output path. And this code is simply for, if the directory is already exist, just delete it. The output directory will give again, right? If it's already exist, just delete it. Anyway, this I'll explain one more time. So we are just running out of the time, so I just thought to explain this. Actually, this is from the different class. Let me copy this. Let's go to our driver class. Let's go to our driver class. Just paste it. Okay. And forget about this. I'll explain this class one more time, guys. I just want. Wait, because the package is different. The package name is here, the different one. The package name is the different one. That's why it is showing still error. Because I could just copy paste it from there, right? That's the wrong way to do. I should have type everything, because we are running out of time. Just I can just do it. I want to execute and show you the program. So now what I need to do, after writing all three classes, I need to create a jar file to execute as a job. I need to create a jar file to execute as a job. Right click. How I create a jar? Everyone look at here. How to create jar? You can select these three classes. That is a one way. Or you can select your package. That's also another way. Or you can select your complete project itself. Export jar. Under the Java, select the jar. Export jar. Under Java, select the jar. Next, you give your jar name. You will give your jar name. Whatever the jar name you want to give, you can give. So I'm say word count 6. I think I already have some word count. That's the reason I'm giving 6. Next, finish. It will just say warning, not to worry about it. Just say OK. And I have given that path as a desktop. Jars word count 6. This is my word count 6 is a jar file. Okay. Now I'm going to launch a job, guys. Now I'm going to launch a job in Hadoop. Please everyone try to understand how I'm going to launch a job. So first I need to start all the services. First I need to start all the services. I'm starting all the services. Guys, if anyone is not talking, please keep yourself in mute. I'm getting some helicopter sound. Oh. Okay. Okay, my all jobs all are running. All services are running. Yeah, very good. So just close this. So guys, everyone note it down. To execute a command, I'm launching in the Hadoop. I'm not running in the local mode. I'm launching your job in Hadoop mode. Hadoop jar, Hadoop jar, path of the jar. Where my jar file is there? Home, Hadoop 1, desktop, jars, word count 6 dot jar. This is my word count 6 jar. Right now, Hadoop jar file I have given. What is my driver class name? I should give that as well. My driver class name also I should give. com.mr.wordCount and wordCount driver. com.mr.wordCount. Fully qualified name, guys. com.mr.wordCount dot my driver name. Fully qualified name I have to give. Fully qualified means including the package. Now I
Package
need to
name.
give the HDFS path because I'm launching in the Hadoop. I need to give HDFS path. So let's go ahead and look at where is your HDFS path. Or you can look at here Hadoop fs -ls /vera/ press enter. Yeah, I have something called bigger file.txt. I have something called bigger file.txt, bigger file 2.txt because I need this path. It's a very big file. It is a almost 273 MB. Okay, because if I show you a bigger file, then you can understand how many mappers are launching, how many reducers are launching. That's why I'm taking the bigger file. If I launch a small file, you will understand, but it really won't look good. So /vera/ word count 1, because I'm just showing you word count 1. I can say word count 10 as an output. So I'm explaining one more time the command Hadoop
So what
jar.
are you executing this? Excuse me.
Sorry,
What are you executing this?
Masood, I'll tell you later. This
Okay.
is for the Mapreduce. This is not the HDFS. This is other batch. Okay, I'm just
Okay.
taking a
So
little. Yeah, please wait. You guys, please wait. I'll just finish the execution. I'll come and talk
okay,
to you
fine.
guys.
Okay. Okay.
So guys, try to understand here. Hadoop jar and jar path and the fully qualified class name, your driver class name, and your input path, and your output path. Input path and output path. Both should be HDFS only. I'm pressing enter. I'm pressing enter. I'm pressing enter. So now the job is getting file input path, the total input path, one path. Its job is created. I mean, job IDs has been created. If you guys see here, and it is now the job is launching. The URL to track a job. If you want to track a job, this is the URL. If you want to track a job, just open this, copy this URL. Tracking job is nothing but you can see that the job for how many uh, has been running and all. You can look at from here itself, from the UI. You can view it from the here. Okay, Let's go here. The running the job, and map part is 0% and reduce also 0%. Look at here. Look at here. It will, I mean, I have given a very big file. That's why it is taking some time. And also this is single node. Please try to understand. This is a single node, right? It's a single node, a single data node, single name node. So that's why it is taking quite I mean, huge amount of the time. Let's go here. UI, what it is? It's still loading, huh? Yeah, it is loaded. So now see here, the map is in progress, is running. Total map, and how many maps are launched, guys? How many maps are launched? 9 maps. Why? 9 blocks are there. How many reduced tasks? 1 reduced task. Is there any reduced progress? No, reduced progress is not yet started. But map is started, but reduce is not yet started. You can keep refresh here. You can look at the same thing here also. Reduce is not yet started. Map is 35% is done. Reduce is not yet started. Reduce is not yet started. You can keep refresh here. It's automatically will get refresh. Anyway, not to worry about it. But you can also look at here. You can also look at here 43. You want to see more details about the job? Click on the job ID. When you click on the job ID, it will show you very much more details here. Map is this much, and pending and running, and how many reducers. Anyway, it's by default it's 1 reducer, as I told you before, 1 reducer only. And see attempts map, and it's running this. Nothing is failed as of now. All are going good. You want to see the logs? You can click the logs. If you want to see the logs of your Mapreduce, you can see the log here. You can see your Mapreduce log here. Okay, so let's go back to terminal. Yeah, reducer is not started. Reducer is still 0%. Reducer is still 0%. Other batch guys, Harika, Ganesh, Anisha, Hamid, please bear with me for a few more minutes. You guys also enjoy this one. I will come back and talk to you guys, please. Look at guys here, my map is not completed, but my reducer is started. How come? How come? This is a question to you guys. I need the answer from you guys in the next class. I mean tomorrow. Before map is completing, your reducer is started. Why? It is a question for you guys. Yeah.
Because it reads by line by line.
Not exactly. Not exactly. Okay, let me reveal the answer. So what happens when the map is started emitting the output, right? So it's not wait all mappers to complete the job. If you guys are completed, it will start collect the data, the output of the, like
Yep.
as I shown here. As soon as the mapper 1 is completed the task, it will start collecting the data. Start collecting here, start collecting from here. It may be still running. So collecting means copying. It will copy to some place where it is a short and shuffle has to do. So the copy phase, the collecting phase also comes under reducer only. That's why before completing your mapper, your reducer is still running. Right? When you define your whole process as 2 phases, one is a map phase and reduce phase. When you define your whole process as a map and reduce, so the till mapper output is the mapper phase, then as soon as the map output is comes, that is become as a reduce phase. Your copy phase, short and shuffle, and I mean there is one more phase called partitioner and combiner. I'll explain that that as well. Okay, all are comes under your reduce. See, your reduce is also running now, and you can also see the same in you can see here also. You can refresh it. Okay, what happened? Job is completed. I hope job is completed. Yeah, job is completed. Because see, if the job is completed, it should not fail. It should not show error message. Why it is showing? Because we are accessing the specific job. Now if click, it will show this. It will show that. See here. This is the status of your job. This is the status of your job. Okay, success. It is finished and successful. It is finished and successful. Look at guys here. This is the little one I want to concentrate here. These are called counters. I would like to explain these counters once. So how much bytes of data it has in read, and how much bytes of data is written. Anyway, we'll talk more about how many map tasks are killed. There are 3 map tasks are killed due to they didn't process properly, but they killed and they relaunched. They killed and they relaunched. Speculative execution. And total map task 12. It's supposed to be 9 only. Because of 3 has been killed, it is launched 12. And reduce task 1 only. Data local map tasks are 12. And these are some map outputs, map record outputs, map input records, output records. You can see here what is the map. You can see here how many input records are came. 45,000, 45 lakhs 50,000, 57,000. Let me show you that whether it's right or wrong. I'll show you now. See here how many lines, guys? 45 lakhs 57 361 lines. Let me show this. 45 lakhs 57,361 lines. Correct? Map output 40 lakhs is more than that because so many votes, right? So many votes. And map output this many. So the splits, input split bytes, it is not input split, number of input splits, it's a bytes. So these are the sum of the. Is there any bad records? No. Is there any errors? No. So this is success. Now go and see your output. Go and see your output. I know guys, it's getting late. Really sorry. WC1. And you have something called success and part file. Part file is the file which actually has the final output. Part file is the file where you can have an output. Let's look at here. Localhost 50070. You're triggering to your name node. Go to file. Let me go to legacy UI. I don't want to go this. I want to go legacy UI. File browse and Vera in that C1. C1 is our output file. So part 00. So the final output comes in the part files. If it is a reducer output, part -r. If it is a mapper output, part -r. In the part file, you start look at them. Count. The band came 3 times. The file name it came 6 times. The nodes came 6 times like this. And when with the space, this space is considered. Okay, this space also considered. Let's go down. And if you see here, the alphabets, these are all ascending order. Okay, with the space it is an ascending order. Let's look at here. Let's look at here. They're all sorted on these many times. The count is this much big count. The first it has considered the space and special characters, and from here it is taken proper letters. First capital letters, then small letters. It's sorted based on the first capital letters, then it's ASCII, right? It's based on the ASCII only, it will be there. So a small word, small letter ASCII is more than bigger letter ASCII. Greater than, yeah. This is now small letters. Now small letters. I hope everyone is understood. I hope everyone understood. If anyone has doubts, we will discuss them in the next class. Okay. So yeah, if you have any doubts about this execution, please ask me. I'll try to clarify them. Any doubts? Supreet, Srinivas, Sunil. Okay, so now I have launched this job in a Mapreduce mode. I can also launch the same thing from the Eclipse. For that, I don't need to run my I can launch my job from here only. For that, I no need to run my Hadoop cluster. Okay, that's called local runner mode. We will talk that later.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for your valuable time. Have a great day. And I just want to
Yes.
continue with this other.
Thanks. Please